Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here I have created two of these variable as a count failed, and from to this position I count all that our failed, right? That means that is our number when it should be as a less than as a 33. So that will be I going to get all the data and it will be show that all that count data. That means a failed student count data, right? And after that I have created another a variable. So I take another variable as a single student, and with this single student I get appropriate our specific one row data as a first data. Okay, and now I want to put on the condition. I want to put on the condition as a if. So into the if condition here I want to do when that means if this there have the any single student data. Okay, that means if the single student data equal as a true. So when it will be as a true, then I want to add one of the condition, and else it will be do another action. Okay, so right now first of all in here I want to add as one other variable, as I take that one of the variable as a all marks. Okay, I take it, name it as all marks, and then we same our this table, that means our student marks table, and with this student marks table I want to assign with. Okay, I want to assign with our some other relationship. We have to also, as I told you, we have to actually get all that our data. So right now I want to do in our with, if you go to our database table, so that is our assign student table, we have to get that all the data from our year name, the class name, exam type, right? So now better I want to do, if you go to our this model, that means our student mark model, if you go to that student mark, into the student mark they have already one of the relationship with our user table, right? So now I want to create another relationship, because that is the will be needed. So now I want to create another relationship. I want to create another relationship with our another table, that is our assign subject table. I want to have to create another relationship with our year table, the class table, and then the exam type table, right? Because that is all that one of the foreign key. So one of the foreign key of our class, that means the year table, the class table, assign subject table, and the exam type table. So now I want to use it. So that will be, I take one of the variable method name, I name that method as assign. Okay, assign underscore subject. So assign subject means here we have to get all the data from our assigned subject. Here you can see that is our assigned subject. So now if you open it, so now that is our model. So with into this model I want to create that relationship, so that will be our assigned subject. I hope friend you get that point, what exactly the things I want to do on here. So now that is our assigned subject, that means with the marks that means the marks, that is our student marks, into the student marks, that is the assigned subject. So this assigned subject will be matched with our this assigned subject. That is I have created another table as the assigned subject. So if you open it, so you can see that is our assigned subject. So this assigned subject, this ID, right? So that is our primary key, and that is our foreign key, right? So that is our foreign key. So now I want to create that relationship. So that is our relationship name as a assigned subject. So for the assigned subject here, and our model name as a assigned subject. That means right now in our this mark management, into the mark management, they have the field. They have the field name, that is actually assign underscore subject underscore ID. So this will be matched with our this table, this ID. So now I simply updated that part, that will be as a assign underscore subject. Okay, subject underscore ID, that field will be matched with our assign subject table ID field, right? So now also I want to create another one. I want to create another one for the year, because they have also one of the year ID. So year means I have already created another model, so our model name for the year as a student year. So that will be as create another relationship with our student year table. So that is our student year table. That means in our student mark table, into the student mark table, there are one of the field as a year ID, that will be matched with our that is actually student year ID, right? So that is a year ID, simple one of the condition. That means that will be as a year. I have already discussed about that things with you friend, how can create that relationship. So it's pretty much simple with our mark, that means student mark table. I have created that relation with our student year table, and the year id, that means this student mark table year id field will be matched with our student year table this id, right? So now I also want to do the same for our class, and also we need that type for our exam type. That means I take another one as a student class, student underscore class. So this type of one of the method. So with this method I want to create that relationship with our student class. That means that is our student class. So that is our student class. So now that will be student class. That means in our student mark there is another field as a class id and the exam type id. So that means this class id, class underscore id, will be matched with our student class table this id. Perfect. And then I take another one as the exam underscore type. Exam type will be same, that will be created that relationship with our marks student. So that is our exam type underscore id. It will be matched with our exam types. You can see there is another table as exam type, and here I want to access that id. So now that will be the first of all exam type. Exam type, I have created another model for this, and you can see that is our exam type model. So now I want to create that relationship with our this table, that is our exam type table, and here our field name as the exam underscore type underscore id. So make that sure spelling is correct. So that is actually our into the student marks table, into the marks table, that is actually our field, right? So this field as with one of the foreign key of our another table as the exam type table. So that is actually exam type. Here it will be get connected with our exam type table id. Perfect. So here I have joined all that our table. I have created that relationship, right? Perfect. So now I click as a save all. So now we are able to use it. That means our student mark, and with the student mark I want to access with our assigned subject. So for the assigned subject I have created that method name as a relation name as a assigned subject. So that will be as a assigned subject, and also I want to create the relationship name with the year name. I name it as a year, right? So that will be as a year. Perfect. And after that our condition will be just like that same here after this. Okay, after this I name that again as a where again that year id. Okay, that means that will be actually just like that same year id. That means where year id will be year id, class id will be the class id, exam type id will be as exam type id, and then id will be as id. Okay, so now I copy everything. Better I copy everything. Just that will be just like that same. So that is actually the same condition. And after that I want to get all the data. So I simply get all the data. Okay friend, so if you want to check it, you can also check it. You want to check it with the dd and to array. So dd and then all marks data I want to check it. I want to check it with the to array. Okay, I want to check it first, then everything will be very much clear to you. So now I want to check that our all marks. Now if you click the save all, and now if you go there, now click right now you don't need this. Right now also you don't need this. I close it. So now I refresh it. So that is our report, and the Marksheet generates. So now I select as a 2020 the class as a class 1, exam as a first terminal. I put that student id. If you click the search, yes, you can see it's now getting one array data. So here you can see it's now perfectly getting all that data. And also I have created that assigned subject. In the assigned subject you can see with automatically it's getting all the data from this table. And also I create that another relationship with our year, and it's perfectly getting that our this year. That means it's also getting that our year data. You can see there is a name is visible. Okay, that means we right now we get a specific one student data. So now it should be work. That means everything is looking great. Our this functionality till now is great. And after that I want to get all that our grade data. That means I take another variable as a all grade. Okay, all grades, and then I want to use it our All grades means if you go to that marks grade, so from here I want to get this data. That means I want to get all the data, so make that sure you load it. You can say I have already loaded as a marks grade. So from the marks grade I want to get all the data. So with this model I want to get all the data. Okay, so I simply get all the data, and after that I want to return one of the view page. That means return one of the view page, and here into our backend, in our report. So into the report folder, that is our backend, there is a report, and there is a Marksheet, right? So I want to create another page, that means for our view all the data. So I name it as a Marksheet. Okay, that is the Marksheet folder, and here I want to create another new one as a Marksheet underscore PDF. So this type of one of the page, and then I want to compact all that are variable data. So here I actually take it individually. I didn't add that with the for each, right? So now I want to pass that our all mark. I pass that as a all mark and compact it without this Marksheet PDF page. Right now we are able to visible these things on here, right? And also I want to pass our another variable data, another variable as a all grades. So now I also want to pass this all grades data, and also here I want to pass another one. I want to pass our all that fail count, that means the count fail data. Okay, I simply pass everything on here. I hope friend it is very much clear to you. And else, that is actually our if condition, right? So that is our if condition, and here after that I use that as else. Else if there have no data, then it will be show some of the notification. Okay, so here that will be show some of the notification. So notification will be I want to take one of the notification. If you go to that profit, that means the profit controller, here I didn't use any notification, that means the toaster notification I want to use. Go to the profile, I did a lot of the time there. You can see there is a notification, I copy it, and then here I close it. So else it will be show some of the notification, and then our notification will be display as a sorry. Okay, so it will be displayed as a sorry. This criteria does not match. That means if we didn't get any data, then it will be show this one with the error type, and that is our toaster return our not any route. It will be returned to the back page. Okay, I make it as a back page. Right now we don't need this. So to the back page with the notification, it will be display. Perfect. So friend, that's all we have to do. I hope you can well understand about it. If you get any data, then it will be get this data. I have already checked it, right? And then it will be returned redirect to a specific this PDF. That means here it will be redirect rather than else. It will be actually display one of the another notification as a sorry, this credential does not match any data, and then it will be returned redirect with the notification. So now I want to check it. If you click as a save all, and now right now that is our data. If you go to our mark, into the mark area, that is our class year ID, like there is a year ID as a 3, right? Only 3 year ID they have the data. So now I want to check it with our another year ID. That means if you go to our year, there is assigned subject, so that is a smart grade. I want to access that year actually. So if you go to that student year, and with the student year, you can see that is only the 3 means 3 ID data as a 2020. They have no data for the 2019 2018. If you go there, you can see the only year ID as a 3. So right now I want to get this data with this one, that means 2019. So right now I refresh it again. So now if they have no data, it should be display another message. So I make it as a first terminal, I make it as a ID number, click as a search. So here it's not showing that message. Why? You can see there is spelling mistake, that will be as an error. So that our alert type will be as an error type. So now it should be visible. Now if you click as a save all, now I close it. I want to refresh it again. I want to get that as a 2019 data, class 1, fast terminal. I put that ID number, search it. Yes, you can see friend, now they have the no data. For the reason system showing as a sorry, this criteria does not match. Okay, that means this criteria does not match, means they have no data for a specific this criteria that you are looking for. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. Rather than if they have any data, then it will be returned redirect one of the view page. So that is actually one of the view page, so I didn't create this page. So that will be as a report into the Marksheet. Here I want to create one of the page as a Marksheet PDF. That means if you go to that our reports into the Marksheet, so there is a controller. Here there is a report Marksheet. Here I want to create another new file, and now I just click as a save as and name it as a Marksheet pdf.blade.php. Okay, so that will be our page. So now if you click as a save all, so now if we get appropriate any data, it should be returned redirect to our this page, right? So that is actually our Marksheet PDF page. So now if you go there, click as a refresh. So right now our this page is totally empty. So now I select as a 2020 class 1 fast terminal. I put that ID number, click as open. Yeah, you can see it's now totally blank. Right now I didn't create anything for our this Marksheet PDF page. So now we have to design this page, right? Right now I want to copy everything from our Marksheet view. Okay, from to the Marksheet view I copy everything, and now in our Marksheet PDF here I paste it. So that will be as a manage Marksheet PDF view. Okay, so this type of one of the name I want to add, and there is a form. So right now I don't want to use any form. I remove that total from. Okay, I remove this total from to this position. So right now I want to check it. Now click as a save all, and now if you go there, now refresh it. Yeah, you can see our page is now successfully loaded. That is a manage Marksheet PDF view. That means if there have any data, so then it's perfectly redirect to our this page with I pass all that our all mark, and here I have already checked it. It's perfectly getting all that our data, right? And else it will be show that notification we have also checked it. So now we have to actually design this page. That means design this our Marksheet PDF view page, and here we will step by step display our total Marksheet. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.